That was a good little like shot. Hold on. Look at this. That look hella like. Hold on. Let me see if I can do some. Oh, I can't do no touch. No touch ups. Pause. I'm trying to tap the background, but that look hella like some photography shit. All right, I'm gonna just flip the camera. Who cares? All right, man. What's going on, world? Starting off the day right. Feel me? Yeah, I might have got bit by a spider already. What the fuck? Got a was it egg cheese sandwich with I think they threw bacon in it. Rody, what's up? What's good, Rody? Let's see it in all of its glory here. One of the spots I like going to. I like going there for coffee and just hanging out. I asked the lady a long time ago. I was like, there's some nights I hang out outside like at midnight. Is that okay? And she's like, it's fine. I don't know if she doesn't speak English that well, so I don't know if it's really okay with her. But I let her know. I was like, if you ever see me on the cameras at night, I'm usually out here just hanging out. And then she's like, it's fine. I'm like, all right, if you say so. I just want to make sure because I wanted to be honest with them, let them know like, some nights I can't sleep, so I'm just hanging out, walking around. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you what it's looking like, man. They toasted it up too. Got the egg and the bacon. I don't know if they put cheese or whatever. Should I open it? Yeah, it was like egg and bacon. Damn, they really loaded it up. Yeah, man. Mid morning, damn near afternoon soon. Mukbang kind of joint. Go. What's going on, Rody? Let me know if you're still hanging out. Pause, pause, pause. Open my mouth wide. I bit down. I think I snagged a bit of my mustache. I could be wrong. I just felt it pull down. So I might have snagged a bit of it. I need a shave. Crazy. Show your shoes on camera? Nah, man. I got the Kyrie's on. I'll show you later if you hang out. Well, welcome here, Jordan Washington. I got some Kyrie's on. I think Kyrie, let me see. Kyrie 5s. The Black History Month joint. You know what I'm saying? Had to get that one. So it has like the little design on it. This guy retracted the message. For those wondering what he said, Jordan Washington said, show your shoes on camera. And then he started retracting his messages. Rodi did too. I don't know why they started retracting their messages. Y'all on some weird shit. They retracted their messages. There's some weird shit. What's going on? Y'all weird right now. What's going on? Don't even say nothing bad. What's going on with it? I'm trying to scarf this down. I like being able to grab breakfast, man. Feel me? Like, it's rare. Some mornings, because, this morning I had, excuse me, I'm trying to chew. My bad, my bad. Sure the green light is on. Yeah. Um, this morning I specifically had, just like a banana and like some like yogurt or something like that. And I was like, damn, low-key, I need a little more protein and energy because I don't know how much I'm gonna be walking around today later on. I'm probably gonna I don't know yet. I'm probably gonna do a Monster Hunter. I have time to do it, so I'll do that. Might call and text my friend, see if she wants to get online and play together. We'll see though. I don't know how the mic situation works. I'm just trying to get through the storyline so I can raise my my hunter rank. I rode it. It's like 11 o'clock here. I think it's close to 11. Declan's, what's going on, Declan? Thank you for dropping back in, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys checking in. 201. So you're like 3 hours ahead. So you're on the East Coast. It's a good fucking sandwich. I ain't gonna lie. 101 for me. Is that a Central Time Zone? Central Time Zone's good, man. My friend over there is on Central Time Zone in the Midwest. I feel like Texas is like that too. The Central Time Zone. Am I tripping? But yeah, we'll see, man. Every day, man, it's all motivation, man. Last night I was tapping in with there was multiple lives, and one of them was my guy Angel Two Up. Angel Two Up does the yo-yo stuff, and he had one that said "keep moving forward," and I was like, "Ooh, I like that." We got to keep the theme of motivation, keeping people alive, motivated, and well. You know what I'm saying? Keep the energy positive and whatnot. You know, until I get there, I'm like doing things properly, whatever. You know what I mean? Best way possible, best form possible. You know what I mean? That's what we on. So I had to get the, speaking of which, I had to get the morning right for the breakfast. I was looking at what was in the fridge. It's not that we don't have food. I was like, well, you know, I don't need to eat this right now. I can eat it later. And like, if anything, my brother and dad could eat it. So I'll be all right just buying myself some food. That's what I thought. I thought I was just gonna live off the banana and the yogurt, but so let me get a little more. A little more to eat. You know what I'm saying? Declan, you just subbed on that account. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Appreciate you dropping in and checking on me. We'll see how much energy I have. Hopefully, I can do multiple throughout the day today. It seems like a productive day. I actually went down to the gym in the morning. I didn't work out. I just wanted to say hi to my coach, but something told me like maybe don't work out right now because I was in like plain clothes. But I was like, just say hello and just keep it moving. You know, if I wake up early, I might be able to drop in on the gym and get some workout in. It's nice on days like this because library doesn't open till noon or whatever. Oh shit. Yeah. I gotta throw these crumbs for the crows. It's not crumbs, man. Try and get them legs moving. Get going in a second. You know. Let's see. Let me grab this. I've seen the group of kids walking from the school over there, and they're like not a field trip, but something like that. Like they're doing a little field trip this morning. Really interesting. It's this one Catholic school. One of my nieces actually used to go there. You know what I mean? She used to go, and yeah, we walked down here. Yeah, she used to go to that school, but they almost ended up transferring her to a different, like a. They have to do this regional high school thing here. Let me throw this away. So like we have this thing here where if my bad, I got to scratch my chin. Let's say you live in a certain area of the city, you have to go to the school within that, like within that region or that those bounds or whatever. I don't know what the word is. Hold on, let me just get some shit out my shoe. So they almost ended up sending her to the high school near my house. And right now, there's been so many like shootings in the neighborhood in general, and then just random kids. There was a kid trying to break up a fight, and as the person who broke up the fight, he gets shot. Just make fucking stupid. So yeah, people on bullshit time, and these kids, I don't know who's raising them. It ain't me. But don't let me get my hands on these motherfuckers, bro. Doing shit. So they almost sent her to that high school, and I was like, "With everything going on right now, and ain't no telling when it's gonna pop off. It just happens sometimes. I hope she doesn't." So they were able to transfer her to a different high school, which is good. The interesting part is like it's just like I don't think my niece understands sometimes, and that goes for all of my nieces and nephews. I don't know if they understand sometimes the sacrifice and the thought process that it takes for I mean I'm not talking about me, but like my cousins that have kids, what it takes for them to make sure that they're safe or they're educated and stuff. They couldn't really fathom the time period of when those people were being raised and whatnot. They couldn't fathom the ignorance, if you will. They just kind of assumed like, well, mom's looking out for my safety, putting me in a nicer school, a safer school, which is fair, which is true. But at the same time, it's like But you don't understand the shit that we're used to, and then us just simply hearing the smallest thing for us to be like, you know what, bro, we're not dealing with that. You know what I mean? Because like for me, it's like the dangers of going to school like that. It don't bother me. You know what I mean? I also come from a household where like my mom and dad, like they're aware of the neighborhood. We knew what it was, and we knew shit that would happen, the robberies and the shootings and the house break-ins and all that shit. And the school's like smack in the middle of it. It's like where else am I gonna send you? A place where we have to pay for bus fare for you to get there, where you have to catch a school bus. Now you're a sitting duck sitting outside. So you're a grown person. You need to move around. You can't just be sitting there. People know where to find you now. Just standing out at a bus stop. It's fucked up like that. So they were kind of aware of these things, and then for us, we didn't matter. We're like, I mean, it's nearby. We live here, so we don't care. You know what I mean? And get it how we live. Be solid people or whatnot. Damn, man, I've got all these crumbs on me. I left the crumbs for the birds. They might come through a little later. Little finches probably eating. I spoiled the crows with some funyuns, so they won't be eating no time soon. None of that. But yeah, I think about shit like that, man. Let's talk about the topic, man. You're never giving up on yourself. Every day you gotta find it, bro. You really gotta tap in and find it every day. You know, you'd be surprised where it gets you. You'd be surprised the type of people who have been working on themselves the longest, who that attracts as well. You know what I mean? You'd be surprised. You would be surprised, man. You know. At the end of the day, man, like what you can do for yourself is way more. See, I've been around people a lot that they do the music thing, they do the sports thing, they do it to a degree where they finally get recognized by someone who's like a gatekeeper, if you will, like what I'm saying, someone who's holding on to the resources, basically, someone who holds on to the resources of stuff, and like it's a tricky thing because in some of these fields, it's like you really want to do it for yourself. I mean, you want to see the opportunity, right? You want to seize all opportunities to like, I can do this by myself. I can be in charge of things. If I feel a way about stuff, you know what I mean? But what's going on, Roscoe? If I feel a way about stuff, but other than that, you know, you got to be honest about what it is within your power. That means a lot more. I say this because I'll give you an example. I got a neighbor. He's a basketball coach. He actually used to play in the Philippines. He's not Filipino. He's black, but like, there's opportunities for ballers here that like if you're not on NBA level, you can go to the G League. If not internationally play. So the thing about that is, he's still making something out of what his passion is. You understand? Whether it's money or not, it's just the fact that this is the love of the game or for what he does. Now maybe too, you can argue like he's from a different era too. So if someone is doing that now, you can argue this is what it looks like to film your journey or to you know document the process of what you're doing and what's going on in your life. This is where I am at life. This is my new you know what do you call this? My new profession now, my new whatever. So that'd be an interesting thing to think about. Where it's like in his time period, he wouldn't have thought about doing it necessarily unless he had a camcorder. But even then, walking around with a little bulky camcorder is a little too much throughout the days. But it would have been a little nice little thing. Some people do it. If you watch the Kanye documentary, that's pretty much what it is, man. Dude was already following his whole life, and some people say it's narcissistic, sure, but he was following his whole life and tracking it out, documenting it, which is what a lot of people do. He actually learned that from Dame. Dame Dash was like, people always try to get the camera on you and then crop it out and then show the worst part of you at the worst time. But if you have people with your own cameras and you can't bring your own stuff to your own to the own place, um, he wasn't trying to do it basically. So literally, if you see, there's a scene in the fucking documentary where like he excuse me, Kanye and I forgot the dude's name. That's fucked up. I forgot the dude's name already, but he's walking with him, and then they go to Dame's house. So he knocks on the door, and like right before they go inside, um, Dame is like answering the door, and there's someone behind him with a camera, and the two cameramen laugh at each other. They're like, "Come on in," because they both knew the agreements between each other. Like, yeah, make sure you document people before they start putting the cameras on you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know me, my stuff is well documented every day. I'm just like, this is what it looks like, man. Waking up, whatever leftover money I got, I'm gonna spend it on some coffee. I don't really need it, but I need to really stop spending money realistically, just in general. But at the same time, I'm also like, I treat every day like an, I have an abundance mindset, if that makes sense. I'm not trying to be funny or like meme worthy. But like I do have that abundance mindset where it's like a lot of times just simply thinking that I know I have a lot to spare and I have a lot to give and whatever, the blessings themselves help me replenish what I've lost. And it's a weird kind of a theory because some people intentionally think in a sense of abundance. I don't really think from a place of intention. I just think like I just know it's worked before for me. Therefore, I just think that way. Like I know there's a lot ahead of me. You know what I'm saying? The future and whatnot. I know that I have a lot to look forward to. Where I've failed in life sometimes is failing to recognize what's in front of me. So like I'll give an example. I always joked around and said stuff like with people, I was like, yo, it'd be dope, if I was like rich or something. I'd be rich. Maybe you have multiple wives and multiple kids, just have a big family, and then I train all the different kids and different stuff. They want to do stuff in the arts. I train them to be artistic. If they want to do something in sports, I train them in sports. And I just, I'm trying to be like the best dad. That's just the way I think about it, right? Time goes on, maybe 2 or 3 years down the line, I failed to recognize the whole time that every time I showed up to the boxing gym or the martial arts place, obviously these people aren't my kids, but these are kids that look up to me. These are kids that are like, yo, I like when he shows up, he's just going all in, he's going all the way, whatever. And I'm like, I'm just trying to train the hardest I can because that's how I feel throughout the day. Is not, I didn't realize that was, creating some inspiration for certain people. I'm just trying my best every time I show up. So some people like they get really tired and they slow down, and other people they kind of like I don't want to seem too sweaty and try too hard. And but for me, I'm like I'm just gonna make a fool of myself. I'm willing to make a fool of myself, training hard and working hard just so I can learn what it is I need to learn. Because I'm the same thing in the Beyblade space and anything else after that. Like I try to just throw myself in it. You know what I mean? So that's just me. I like to throw myself into things, pause, and you know try to do it to the degree, whatever the little whatever you call that. So that's me though. Let me show you what we're looking at, man. Damn. Transition from spring to summer. This is as good as it gets, man. A lot of people be like, what's it called? A lot of people be showing up in the chat talking about you live in a nice community, you live in a good area. But I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. I gotta walk up the street just to be up here. It's crazy, bro. I literally walk up the hill. So I live on a. I'm trying to do the math real quick. So I walk about 6, 7 blocks uphill just to get up here, man. Where it's like real serene and chill. But that's all it takes, man. It's like all the shootings are in my back streets where I live at. You know what I'm saying? Shit, you can see the number right there. Where's this at, Chief? That's what you're saying? Like you're saying, like, where is this at? It's a nice ass neighborhood. That's what it is, man. It's real nice today. You see how beautiful it is? It's a beautiful day, man. Yeah, you got the towers in the background. You know what I'm saying? Let me zoom in on the towers, bro. Those towers right there, right? So the thing about those towers is they look like they're in sync with where I'm at right now. Like they're like directly west of me, correct? See the little bird shadow? It looks like it's directly west. The thing about it is I live down the hill, like down the hill at the bottom, but like not the valley. The valley is like the deepest part of it. And the thing about over there is like, you know, in that area, they're directly under the towers from a different angle. My particular house at another angle is like blocked off by all these new buildings being created. So my reception at the house is trash, bro. I've been saying this for a while. Not glorifying trash connections, but it just is what it is. You know what I mean? It goes the other way. I'm standing right in the middle of the street right now. It's the other way. That's to the east right there. That's pretty much Bellevue right there. I'm right in the middle of the street, man. And there it is right there. But yeah, here we at, man. You going to watch Daffy? All right, bro. Appreciate you dropping in. I might be here for a few more, 20, 30 or something like that. Oh, man, there's like a little hummingbird. I don't know if I can show it. Can I show the hummingbird? Here. There he is. Same, man. Air is fresh up in over here. Pacific Northwest. Air is fresh. Nature is good. Wouldn't trade it for the world. But, you can't act like there ain't people that, I don't want to say take advantage of the system, but, take advantage of all this only to be kind of off-putting people. And, not so, whether they're good to me or not is irrelevant, because I can just move around that. But for whatever reason, I've outgrown this, and you know, it's good right now. That's it's beautiful today. It's beautiful for the next 2 to 3 months, hopefully 4 months of this beautiful weather. But the other year-round stuff is just real chilly and cold and overcast, and I'm like, come on, man. So that's why I say, seasons like this, days like this, I urge people to get outside, get beside themselves as well, tap into a different version of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Different form and function of self-love, if you will. You know what I mean? Find that in yourself, man. Find that this is a comforting thing that, I don't own none of this. I just happen to exist within it. And there's a decency. You know what I mean? The subtleties are there, but the decency of the space, or like I'm not necessarily being ridiculed or profiled for who I am. You understand? Because I've done how many lives up here? How many live streams up here? The people in the community have gotten to know me. They've seen me around. Some people, they do that little, like I said, the subtleties. They do the subtle things. They follow behind you, trying to track you down, see what you're about. I'm just doing me the whole time. Pause. And it's like, you got to be mindful of these things. It takes time for them, but I'm happy that they took the time within themselves to care enough to give a fuck to see if is this guy problematic or not? Because I don't live up here. All my friends that used to go to school in Madrona, and all my friends that used to go to school at Leschi, and what I'm saying, Washington, Garfield, all that. All them people that used to live up here, they ain't around no more. I just don't see them, at least. A lot of people moved. A lot of people in my section moved. There's this one house, I've showed it on film before, but it's like diagonally across from my block. I swear to God, like once a month, cops would just be over there. And I don't know if they were rightfully over there. I don't know if there was a domestic dispute. Who the fuck knows? But it just seemed like the cops were very familiar with this particular house. You know what I'm saying? Then once a month started turning to once a week. I just seen the cops post up all the time. I'm like, these people are always there. What's going on? The boys is always right there. Why is that? Time goes on. I'll go visit my cousin. She's she's down in Renton, and she was like working down there or something. So I went to go visit her, say hi or whatever. Then I left. So I'm over here like I'm about to go home, and she knows I gotta catch the bus. And she was like, "You sure you don't want to stay?" I was like, "No, I'm gonna go home early. I don't care. I'm gonna start catching the bus home." Maybe it took about an hour and a half to 2 hours coming from Renton. So I'm coming up. The buses that they're giving me are the ones that go to that give me the 48. So I end up getting on the 48. If you don't know, the 8 will run you along MLK, Martin Luther King. The 48 will run you along 23rd at some point as it continues to go, north and south and whatnot. But all in all, What happened for me was I went down 23rd. So when I get out 23rd, I gotta walk down the hill from 23rd because I live down the hill from 23rd, basically. That makes sense. Dylan, what's going on, Dylan? Yeah, there's so many Dylans that show up in my chat now. There's like you, there's the other guy, and I think there might be a third. I could be tripping, but thank you for dropping in, Dylan. What's going on, bro? It's good to hear from you. But yeah, I'm walking, and like I said, I was walking past that block that the cops used to always be at, and on across the street from my house, and that's where the old burger spot used to be at. So like in front of the burger spot, there's a hell of motherfuckers out there. I'm like, damn, motherfuckers are deep. What's going on tonight? So I walk up just to see what's going on. They got the rest in peace candles. They got all the rest in peace candles. They bumping music. Everybody's standing around, lighting up candles and lighting up blunts and joints and everything, doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? And then I see one of my homies from middle school. I was like, damn, what's going on here? I was like, yeah, one of the homies passed away. One of the homies died. I'm like, damn. I was like, he died right here? He's nah, he just lived nearby. And I think he was kind of referencing the house that always is getting bothered with the police and shit. Right or wrong. So that was the whole thing. So I tell my friends, like, bro, I'm right here. I'm right on this. I don't know if you knew this whole time, but I lived right here. He said, damn, now I know. So we just talked a little bit, then I went home. Anyway, fast forward. We're just talking. Um, my bad. No, I wasn't talking to him, but fast forward. Time goes on, maybe. The house, it seems like no one's really in there. Seems like there's less police, and then out of nowhere, the house itself starts getting renovated. And I started filming that too, I think back in April. So you see the house getting renovated, getting repainted and all that. They're throwing all the wood and all the stuff in the inside. They're throwing everything out. They're like, damn. Oh, here, let me show you this. This is crazy. This is Homer Simpson. I can put my coffee down. Yo, this shit crazy. The Homer Simpson hand with the donut. This shit crazy. Every time, man. Every time I see it. And it's funny because I went to an event, Beyblade event, and then somebody bought like a thing of donuts, like a dozen donuts. And I saw the sprinkles one. I was like, well, I need to get that Homer Simpson looking donut right there. I'm just missing a Duff, like a little Duff beer. But yeah, real quick, that motherfucker, he lost his life somehow. He's a young man or something. He died. He lost his life or whatever. They had memorials for him. They let the wax burn at the old burger joint. They did their thing. You know what I'm saying? And then the house is getting renovated like a month later, real quick. 1 second you here, 1 second you not. But the other crazy part was, I'm pretty sure that the family that was living there, because I'm getting my years a little wrong and my months a little wrong, but I'm pretty sure the family living there kind of just, they had to pack up and leave. They was like, well, I don't know if the guy that was living there that died, I don't know if he was the breadwinner or what, but they probably couldn't afford to live there anymore. They just got out, sold the house property and everything. They probably needed that to pay for funeral expenses and all that stuff too. That's how I go. You understand? That's how I go. So, really interesting, man. It's really interesting stuff. I don't know what to make of it, but just like that, things will get cleansed and bought up. People with money and people with compounding money could just come in and buy stuff. And, we can argue whether there's a lack of empathy for what's happening. Sure, we can argue about that. Whether that's true or not. There's a lack of empathy on behalf of these people buying these homes. And, I actually, funny, I went on a few coffee dates with this one girl. She used to work in the union. But she's got good money. She's made good money enough to like buy some property down in South Seattle. And her whole thing was like, I'm trying to be very mindful of making sure like the right people get this home, but a lot of times the right people can't even afford it. And I was like, unfortunately, in this day and time, you can just sit there and be patient if you want to, but that's just how shit works. It's just how it is. And I said this in the last one. It's like that happened within my great grandpa's generation and my grandpa's generation, where like all those people work together and put their money together. So it's never a one person thing. It's never a one household and a one family thing. It's like multiple people. It'll be like cousins, uncles, aunts, everyone kind of pulling their money together for this thing. And you kind of learn that through organizing too, where it's like if people wanted to have a rental space, obviously you would put your money together, or you would have like like a little donation thing for funds and things like that. You know what I mean? Actually, let me get there. How's it going? Not too bad. Not too bad. So, yeah, that's interesting. Oh, also we might see the eagle today too. 'Cause I'm walking towards the house. I remember I told y'all there's the house with the tall tree, and the lady said that sometimes there's an eagle up there that perches. So I can't remember where I was at. I think I was either on a ferry. I don't remember where I was at, but I just saw an eagle hella up close. I seen two and three eagles when I was over in like the Bellevue area, Kirkland Bellevue area. I was at the bus stop and I zoomed in on these birds hella high in the sky, and it was just a bunch of eagles just zooming around, just kind of circling each other and just talking to each other. And they were hella high up. They look like planes, but they're obviously not that high up. They're not higher than well, who knows actually? I don't know. Eagles can fly pretty high. So maybe we can look up and see if we find an eagle today. You know what I mean? This time, oh, this ain't the house. I'm tripping. It's like a block or two down. I guess I gotta keep walking, so that's good for me to keep walking. Damn, what the fuck? I missed the coffee. I was gonna loop around, but got time to kill. But yeah, man, just like that. So, you know, what ends up happening because people didn't have like family members that did all of you know, the groundwork and whatever from the beginning. If people start to question their own value and their own, I don't want to say worth, but like worth is like the word I'm using because there's a money, there's a price to it. You know what I'm saying? It's really interesting because people nowadays got to be like in their 50s to finally afford a home. Back then, people can grind from like get your first job around 16, and you lock in for about 15 years, and by the time you're in your 30s, you got a decent home. Like decades ago, generations ago, type shit. But like now, it's different. Now it's a whole different thing. So you got to work just enough. You got to give 20, 30 more years of what you're kind of projected to have just to get something decent. And even then, it's probably cheaper to just rent like a nice little 1 or 2 bedroom kind of joint. Even if it's like a house, some people just rent their houses out. But maybe I should have made that suggestion just to rent out the house, or tell the lady like maybe rent out the house to some good people, because that's all you can do really. The money ain't always worth it. You know what I'm saying? The money, however that look, it's not always worth it. If that makes sense. I didn't even know they had a hoop. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I'm tripping. Or they had a hoop the whole time. It's crazy to think, man. That's crazy. I'm always down here when it's like nighttime. So I just never be seeing like the kids out playing. I mean, I'm always walking past, but I never like mob through like how do you explain this, man? On a normal day like this, I don't know, like a regular school day or whatever. I just never mob through, so I never seen it in action. But my niece used to go here. That's crazy though. That is crazy though. It's funny because when you're an adult now, I give an example. I don't know why I just randomly thought about this. When you're an adult now, sometimes you run into certain staff members at a school, and then you kind of want to sit there and ask them like, "Hey, did you used to know my niece or my nephew?" You must want to ask them questions, and then I'm like, "Hey, just let me know if they're a bad kid, so I could go back and lecture them myself, or whatever the fuck, something stupid." That's what adults be doing. Adults be on some sneaky, productive shit, or whatever the word is. They be on some like, "I'm trying to help you, but I'm being sneaky about it." That's how I go. But yeah, man. These are gems. These are like I ain't gonna say they're not. I didn't mean to say like gems, but they're not gems. They're you know streams of consciousness, as they usually say. That all started with Kanye, which is funny. They need to give that man his credit. These are forms of streams of consciousness, for lack of a better term. And whether they're gem worthy or not, they will yield what they need to yield. I was saying not to give up on yourself. I wanted to do that podcast yesterday, in between the Kill Tony, recap and the first one I did in the morning, but I didn't have the time. So the thing was, I was like, well, let me just save it for tomorrow morning, I guess, before I go to the library and whatnot. The interesting thing about that was it was a good thing that I waited because I get updated numbers at like midnight, which would be the start of the next day. So at midnight, I just randomly checked the YouTube studio, and my numbers went from like +3 to +2, and then the update for today was +24. So like I said, I need on average +7.3. So getting +24 is 3 times more than I can, 3 times more than is necessary for me. If that makes sense. Check this out, man. That's the big ass tree right here. These are 2 tall trees, twin tower kind of joints. You know what I mean? Let me switch hands. There it is. That tall damn tree. I'm in here, man. I'm trying to get I might have to go across the street to get the proper filming of this thing right here. I could stand on the, these are probably two of the tallest trees I've seen, like in the city. I mean, the thing is, if you go to like Seward Park and stuff, you'll find some tall trees over there. That thing is huge. Oh, it's a giant tree right there. If we go up the hill and then maybe look from the other side, we might see an eagle. I was hoping to run into somebody that maybe lives nearby so I can ask them if they've seen eagles recently. Because sometimes they'll tell me like that when they look out the window they'll see an eagle. But let me walk up the hill and then I'll try to film it from there. Maybe I should just walk backwards. Should I walk backwards? Let me do that. I can't see, so I'm like right underneath it. I'm also facing the sun. Hey, hold on. Let me walk a few blocks. I mean, not blocks. God damn it, a few feet. A couple yards. Oh, a couple yards. How's it going? Yeah, we might see an eagle up there. These other trees aren't tall enough. There's probably like double the height of these other. You see these ones right here? They're probably like double the height. All right, let me go down the side. Let me see if I can see it from here. I'm gonna zoom in at the top. Let me know if you can see it. Yeah, they were saying sometimes they perch on one of those because it is like the highest high. It's like the top of the hill, but it's a slight dip. But this is as high as it gets. Top of the hill up here. Actually, this one might have it too. It might get eagles too. I don't know. Like I gotta get closer to that tree. That might be tall as hell. Up close. It might actually be. It might actually be. Yeah, buddy. That dude was putting on the combo multiplier on the nail gun. That was crazy. That was crazy. Oh shit, yeah. That's construction, man. Good old construction, man. If you're wondering what the sound was, I'd be hearing that, bro. There's like a house that they're building like near my house, and I'd be hearing that shit in the morning. Sometimes it'd be hella loud. I'm like, ooh, like I don't know if it's PTSD, but I'd be sitting there like, damn. I've been thinking motherfucker shooting from a distance, but it's just a nail gun. I'm like, that shit crazy. You got the rhythm right, low key. Like it's a semi-auto. You call them joints semi-auto, whatever, semi-automatic. Little semis. You know what I mean? Crazier though. Let's see it, man. Let me show you what it's about, man. Don't worry about me. I'll just talk. I'll just show the view and I'll just talk, all right? I'll do that because it looks better if I just show you where I'm walking through because I'm over here enjoying the view. So I'll let you enjoy the view too. I'll let you see what's going on. I gotta watch where I'm stepping to. I almost tripped like how many times? It's crazy. I gotta watch what I'm doing. I'm walking slow as I can. I'm killing time before that shit open. Library. I think about this all the time, man, because that's how my mind works, man. I'm just chilling. If you met the younger me, I would have been on go all the time. So yeah, what we talking about? We saying this, we saying that. He's getting hyped up, and I'm still the same guy. Don't get me wrong. However, they're doing construction. I can't walk over there, but I'm still the same guy. But you got to think about this too. It's like the problem with that was, it was less relatable. Sometimes it's too much for people, so I kind of winded it back. Because even I'm aware that there's moments where you got to really sit down and rest, or sit down and let things play themselves out before you do all the playing. If that makes sense. I always use my analogy, like my boxing analogy, is like you're doing all the punching, you're doing all the rhythm changing, you're doing everything. But realistically, there's a moment where like ain't nothing wrong with them trying their best and you just counter them. But yeah, let them try to get a few hits in. Let's see what they can do. If they ain't shit, then you lay them down. But if it's all about you, it's all about you. You know, a good example of that is like, I say this all the time. The closest thing to ultra instinct that we've seen in the boxing world is like Manny Pacquiao. And then you got Roy Jones Jr. and you got Muhammad Ali, kind of in that order of generations. You know what I'm saying? Guys that really were just on some different shit, because we can say Pernell Whitaker, but Sweet Pea had a method to his madness. That dude was built different, man. There was a whole lot of thought process of what went into what he was doing as a fighter. A lot of people don't really recognize it. You'd have to be in the gym to recognize that man's genius. A lot of that stuff was by, I ain't gonna say design, but like you could say the same thing for Roy Jones, but he really in there flowing. You know what I mean? Roy Jones was just like, I'm just gonna act like a rooster. I'm gonna imitate a rooster's fighting style. You know what I'm saying? Very flashy, but also very like I'm in command. I'm in control of this space. So he's a farm guy. He was a farm boy down in Florida. So the fact that he was on the farm all the time, he just like, I'm about to imitate this rooster, because he knew their nature. You know, but he was studying animals since he was a kid. We used to have a rooster too, actually, at the house I grew up in. We used to have a rooster over there. Yeah, man. I was gonna see if the construction dude was here. Remember the other day I asked him about the birds. I don't see if they're working on it. So be careful, man. He looked like he was tired of shit though. He was like, I don't want to hear this shit. I don't want to hear you talk about birds. He probably saw me walk up to him. He's like, this dude's a tree hugger. What's he doing, man? Like, yeah, I was hugging a tree last night. I did my little nature prayer, hugged the tree up last night. Pause. You know. So I made that happen. But I don't know, man. Sure. I gotta remember to watch my footing. But yeah. Then they're working on the church too. Yo, everything's getting done. Spring and summer. Let me zoom in on that. That's crazy. Yo, I don't know how they do it, man. Cause I can't do heights, man. Like I got respect for people who do that, because I can't get up there high. Like I've seen a dude. I was in a building one time and I saw the guy washing the window. That shit freaked me out. I was like, bro, he's different. I can't do this, man. You know me. Like if I look down and I see how deep the fall is, I start getting shaky. Like, oh, I just can't do heights. But let me not say I can't do, because there's been times where like I've done them. It's funny. I say this all the time. I always tell my cousin, like, I'm scared of heights, and then she was like, yeah, but you got on the ride with your niece, because there's this ride called the slingshot, where they put you in a little thing and then they just sling you up in the sky, which is kind of scary actually, because if that thing snaps, who the fuck knows? But bro, they slung us up. And then like on the way down, I was upside down on the way back down to earth. Obviously, it's like a bungee cord, so like before your head can even touch the floor of coming down from the slingshot, it like bungee cords you upwards. So, but it was scary because my whole thing was like upside down. Here, let me zoom in. This is what I'm talking about. You see this machine, and then it's the top of a church. So they're doing some work over here, which is, I guess, it's good. I don't know if they're repainting it or what. Looks like it. You know. Are you part of the? Oh, I'm sorry. Are you part of the thing for the church? Are they just repainting the whole thing? Is that what it is? Not repainting. There's a cell tower inside of that tower. Oh, okay. I guess it's a cell tower thing. Y'all, it's that's pretty cool though. Nice. Thank you. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's like But like literally, like every other block has a they're doing work, you know. And then some of the guys on the other side, they were building. If they weren't building the new house, they were working on the sidewalk. So there's a lot of stuff getting done. It's actually good that it's getting done before like the heat, like the middle of the summer, where it gets really heated. Because I can't imagine, man. Some construction people, I feel like they deserve a raise when you see them out there in like the middle of the like August or something. You know what I'm saying? End of July, beginning of August, like that era when it gets really hot, like middle of Leo season type shit. Around that time, that's when it gets crazy. You know, that's why like now, like I'm trying to save. There be some days, man, where I try to hit the shower every other day. You know what I mean? But if I've been working out, then I have to shower. If that makes sense. If I work out and I sweat a lot, I gotta hit the shower. But I try to reserve it for every other day, especially in the wintertime. If I get off from work, then I have the shower. But my whole thing is like in summertime, it'd be so hot sometimes where you feel like you gotta shower once, if not twice a day. And I try to do like a little quick rinse and a quick little soap, a little soap lather and scrub and bathe so I don't waste so much water. I'm very, because man, it's really comfortable to sit there and just stay in the cold shower. But you don't have to be in there all the time. If I'm in like a hotel or something, I'll use the shower for a longer period of time. But when I'm at home, I'm very mindful of how long I'm staying in there. When I was like middle school, high school, man, I used to just be sitting in there, just sitting in the shower, man. You know, just in there for hella long, not even realizing like, damn, somebody pays for this. Somebody paid for that water bill. I'm over here just wasting water, just standing around in there, you know, trying to get some warm water, trying to get some cold water, whatever it was, just wasting water. I think about that time and era a lot where like I just wasn't cognizant of shit for whatever reason. You know, I just wasn't that aware. Like I'm over here wasting water, and if I wasn't wasting water, same thing with like food and shit. Like I would just be looking for food in the like orange juice. I would be drinking hella orange juice just all the time, just wasting food and water and everything. You know, just wasteful. Just consuming it and not doing shit with my life. I mean, with the food, it was like I would like drink hella orange juice and then eat hella protein in the morning. Sometimes I wasn't even working out and training anymore. I was just doing it just to have energy to fuck type shit. It was some bullshit. Some bullshit. I'm telling you, man. I was on bullshit. I've been there before. Crazy, man. I hate whenever I bring up some bullshit and I'm like, take it from me. I've been there before. You know what I'm saying? I hate when I'm telling you, bro. I hate when I'm on some bullshit and I'm just like, nah, for real. Like I've done this before. Like take it from me. Like I've done it before. You know what I mean? So like I don't know. Like take it from me. How's it going? So, I don't know when I'm saying it. Like you gotta take my word for it. Like don't be that person. I mean it's fucked up because like you almost have to go through being that person in order to not be that person. Which is it seems stupid, but it's like that's what you have to go through. You know what I mean? It's what you have to go through. I don't know. It might just be like a young man thing too, because we develop slow, bro. Like it'd be taking us a minute to really have shit to comprehend. Because the thing was, I was smart and I knew certain stuff, but I didn't know how to not be wasteful or like how to not be like, you know what I'm saying? Like a nuisance. A nuisance is the word I'm looking for. I didn't know how to not be a nuisance. You feel me? I don't think anyone really knows how to not be a nuisance. But for me, it was just more difficult. It was just harder. Pause. So yeah. But like, man, it's just funny. Like every time I'm aware of some bullshit, or like every time I'm aware of like a uh, a flaw of mine historically, I'm just like, take it from me. I would know. Like I've been there, and like it's funny because during that time period, I didn't think I was there. I was like, man, I know I'm smarter. I know I'm sharper than everyone my age. I just knew. And then come to find out, you get older, you're like, man, you wasn't shit, bro. You was just like a stupid kid, just like everyone else. You know, you just needed time to develop. You needed some, and that's a deeper conversation. You needed a form of you really needed someone to care for you and actually nurture, certain things about you. Maybe not the negative things, but nurture the things I needed to be taken care of. But other than that, you know, I'm just saying in all fairness, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie about it. You feel me? I'm looking like a lying about it. So that's how I feel with all that. That's just how I feel. I don't know. There is a better way to look at it. Oh shit. We getting close to that time, bro. Yeah, how we gonna close it out? I don't know yet. Still don't know. Coffee gone warm. Like you read that feeling like you want to grab another one, another cup, but you don't. You know, if I get 2 cups, I'm not gonna sleep. I just know that much. So I'm just gonna work off the little lukewarm. You know what I'm saying? Lukewarm Americano. It's the Luke Cage right here. It's the Luke Cage Americano. You know, shit like that. Walking up to the little. Go ahead, look at it. You know, statues, sculptures, a peaceable kingdom, so they say. Let me show you how it's looking right here from the front. This is actually like the more peaceful statue. Like it's the panther and the pig hanging out. But like originally how they had it was the panther killing the pig. Because like I said, it's the Black Panther area. Yeah, dude. You gotta come see it for yourself, man. Different type of awakening up over here. Cognizance and awareness, you know, things like that. Different type of whatever. You feel me? So that's where I'm at with it. We're gonna chop it up for the next few minutes. You check the time. You know what time is it? Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna sit there, get settled in. You feel me? Sit down, get settled in. Let the body cool down from all the heat. Once they open the doors, and then from there, I'm gonna try to jump on this Monster Hunter, man. We'll see. I'm trying to raise my hunter rank. I'm trying to get some parts for some new armor because I'm over here dying. I'm in the field dying, bro. I need some new parts. You want no parts of this? Get some new parts. Somehow I'm surviving. You know, there was one mission where I died like twice or 3 times. Oh, excuse me, twice, because 3 times is the end of the mission. There's one where I died 3 times, but the one that I died twice was rough. I'm like, damn, man, it was rough. Awesome. There's nothing I could do about it either. There's nothing I could do. I was like, either I got to get stronger armor or I have to heal in between each hit, which kind of sucks because I'm like, if I can only actually, there was one where I battled where I was like, I can only take one hit, and I was like, bro, I can't survive this match, so I had to call in the SOS flare. I had to call for backup, but that's the struggles, man. You have like low armor, you gotta get that up. You know what I mean? You gotta get your low armor up, upgrade it. The sword wasn't the problem because I was like, I can just keep delivering the power shots and stuff. I guess I could upgrade the sword, but I don't know yet. It's a little too early for all that. You know. Hold on, man. No notifications. Can't remember what channel I was on. They're like Noti Gang for notifications. But I'm like, damn, I don't need that sometimes, man. I don't really need that. You know what I mean? Sometimes when you have that, it's like it's just too much. Sometimes I got to focus on what's happening right now in the now. You know, which is just what's happening right here. Like I got to focus on this. Counting up by myself. You know. But I appreciate everyone dropping in, man. Feel me? Appreciate that, man. Up to this point, right here. Get some good sunlight today, man. You see this? I might have to screenshot this shit right here. Some holy shit right here. Hold on. There we go. Can I view this? Am I still going? Yeah, I'm still going. Okay. I just screenshotted myself, bro. This is some holy lighting right here. Yeah, let me do the smile too. It's gonna be my new picture for everything. Yeah, I'm trying to get the blue sky in the background. That might be a little better. Let me check it. Hold on. Okay, that's fine. That's as good as I'm gonna get it. It look like some holy light. This is some good lighting though. Hold on. There we go. Yo, this is it, bro. Yeah, my most genuine smiles is when I'm laughing. So y'all gotta make me laugh more, man. I be trying to when people say cheese and tell me to smile, I be thinking I'm smiling. And then I see the picture back, and I'm like, man, I'm looking fucking crazy right now. I don't know who that is trying to cheese, and they look hella creepy, but that's me, unfortunately. So I gotta stop with the creepy look, but it happens. So yeah, people got to make me laugh in order for me to smile genuinely. It's kind of fucked up because someone asked me to smile, it'd be like it just look crazy. I look hella crazy, bro. Like smile for the camera, I'd be looking crazy. Couldn't even tell you why. You know what I mean? But yeah, we're gonna do more of these, man. I'm gonna try to tap in with the sports and whatnot, everything that's going on. I think it's Thursday. Thursday is the game, so I don't know, man. Hopefully Thursday evening. Should I do Thursday evening? Thursday evening is probably the best because some people might not have cable or they don't really want to watch the game. So maybe they'll just ask me questions. How did it go? What was good? What was bad? You know. Oh, I wrote the date. I put down the date for the thing I did yesterday for the little notes I took. So we'll see, man. Maybe I'll do more. I don't know if I should really do sports notes. I don't really want to do all that, but it might help. I don't know. All right, we getting close to the mark. You know, 63 is what it's saying. 63 is what it's saying, man. A lot of people came and went. A lot of people came and went. But there it is, man. I'm trying to fight back the sneeze. Ooh, I think we're good. But all right, y'all. For those tapped in, those that stuck around, those that crept around, I appreciate it. It's much appreciated. We're gonna charge up both these devices here, just situated, cool down a little bit. Some room temperature weather. You know what I mean? And there it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Call it a day right there. You're gonna see me maybe later in the day if I have the energy for it. But for now, I have to get this in. All right. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. Peace.